Hi everyone. Today we are going to address the most common question or most of the students are asking in the channel. After a career gap, how to get a business analyst role. Okay. So many of you took a break for some reason. Okay. So after your career gap, like if you face an interview, this question might come, right? You have 2 year career gap, 5 year. Why should we hire you? Do you have a real BA experience? Why did you choose this domain? How did you understand the business problem? Who were your stakeholders? How did you gather requirements? Did you create BRD or FRD? Did you work with developers? How technical are you? How did you handle unclear requirements, right? So when you practice, let's say after career gap, you practice and you going to face the interview, and these are the initial questions going to come. Okay, so I'm going to use a character called Shivi, our career gap person, and I'm going to walk you through the story and let's see how Shivi can get the job after a career gap. Okay, so you can relate your story also like Shivi. So most of you, like the people are watching, I think, career gap person. So one thing very honestly, when you open a job portal, right, you see 2 to 5 experience required. So what is the feeling that comes to your mind? Is it fear or motivation? So for CV, let's say CV has 2 years career gap, our case. CV, it was fear for CV. So CV took 2 year break through of family reasons. So not because she didn't want to work, many of you like that, because life happened, right? Now she is sitting at home, laptop open, job portal scrolling, and one thought keeps repeating her mind. So did I lose my career forever? Many of you in the same boat, right? This exact thought many of you are having right now. So let me ask you a question. Is the career gap a real problem? No, right? Is it a problem? Let me take a pen so that I can highlight. So is there a real problem? No. Is it something else? Let's talk about that honestly. Okay, so Sivi starts preparing answer in her head. She thinks, if they ask about my gap, what will I say, right? I'll explain everything. She practiced saying, I had my family responsibilities, I had personal issues, I couldn't work. But here is the truth. Interviewers not rejecting career gaps. Okay, keep in mind, they are not rejecting career, they are rejecting uncertainty. Okay, what do you mean uncertainty? They are rejecting confused answers. They are rejecting candidates who sound like they are asking for sympathy instead of showing values, right? Keep in mind. So now imagine this interview question. You have 2 year career gap, why should we hire you? So most of the people freeze, some people over explain, some people apologize, some people become defensive. All of these responses send the same message, I am not confident, right? I am not confident. So Sivi realized something important here. The interview is not about the past. The interview is about present thinking. That keep in mind, right? So now you are back to the career. So don't think about your career gap. So let me ask you this. If today someone asks you, what experience do you have as a business analyst? Can you answer that confidently? Right? Not emotionally, not theoretically, not practically. So if the answer is no, don't worry. That's exactly why this journey exists. Okay. So now Sivi asks herself this very powerful question. What does experience actually mean? It's very important. Experience equal yes or experience equal exposure? Think about it. So if someone worked for 3 years but cannot explain one project clearly, is that experience? And if someone worked deeply on one realistic project and understands every decision, is that not experience? So this is a BA truth nobody tells you. Okay, companies don't hire resumes. Again, thinking ability. How do you solve business problem? Again, I'm telling, not tools, skills. How do you think? Right? They hire people who can explain, who can solve business problem, who can document business problem. So why something was built, right? Who it was built for, what problem it was solved. So you have to understand the business problem. How do we solve this business problem to enhance the customer experience or user experience? What decisions were made? So we start to feel something change here. Her gap is still there, but now it doesn't feel like a wall, right? It feels like a challenge she can work around. Okay, so if Shivi can work around, you guys also can work around. So let's talk about another interview question. Do you have real business analyst experience? This question scares people because they think experience only comes from a company. That's wrong. Experience comes from doing BA work. It's like a practicing, right? Let's say you want to practice a game, you want to go to a match. So you don't have a live match. So you practice with your friends, you practice at home, practice by self, right? So experience again, not you can gain from not from a company, you can doing the BA work, you can do the projects, not from a payroll system. So if you work for a company, you get a payroll, right? So Shivi understand this. She is not trying to fake experience. She tried to build a real practice. And that's an important difference. She tells herself, I cannot change my past, but I can control how well I understand one complete project. Very important. This is where the mindset shift, right? Now let me ask you something. If tomorrow an interview says, explain one project you worked on as a BA, can you talk for 10 minutes without stopping? Can you? So can you explain the business problem? So these are the user decision challenge. These are the categories they are looking. Okay. If not, that's not because you are incapable. It is because nobody taught how to practice like a BA. So Shivi realized this too. She stopped running behind tools. She stopped running behind certificates. You are watching so many videos. You are taking courses for so many tools and certifications. So she focus on clarity. This is what you guys have to also do. Now let's simulate another interview moment. Okay. Interviewer asking, tell me about yourself. Most people answer like this. I did a course, I learned Agile, I learned Jira, I'm looking for opportunity. So this answer sounds safe, but sounds forgettable, right? Shivi choose a different approach. Let's see. Shivi answer, I am transitioning into a business analyst role. I took career break for family reasons, and during that time, I focus on building practical BA experience by working on complete application project from business problem to delivery. How sounds like? Sounds confident, right? So you are saying, so you are talking about truth also, right? You took a career, even in your draft, you are sending the cover letter, you can mention this one. So there are chances you get a call, right? So she's saying how she formulated her career transition. Transition business analyst, she took a career break for what reason? During that time, what she did. Everyone can do this one, right? So this answer does three things. It acknowledges the career gap. You have to, okay? And you are telling the reasons also. It removes emotional weight, right? It redirects to the skill. This how confidence are. Okay, everyone can do this one. So taking a career break is not a big deal, right? Like you can bounce back, you can come back to your career, whatever career you are, right? So now Shivi asks another question. What if the interviewer digs deeper, right? What if they ask follow-up questions? What were most people panic, right? That's where most people panic, right? So, but panic only comes when preparation is shallow, right? When you prepare, and you don't need to worry, because that's why we are practicing, right? We are expecting. Deep preparation creates calm answers. That's why this journey is long. That's why it is detailed, because shallow learning creates fear, deep understanding creates confidence. Okay, so let's talk about dangerous mistake career gap candidates can make. Okay, so they try to prove themselves too hard. They talk fast, they talk too much, overload answers just to cover the career gap. So interviewers don't want speed, they want structure. Any business they don't need fast, they don't need perfection, anything. They just want that thinking, right? Like, can you solve the business problem? What we are selling, what we are serving for our customer. So CV practice slowing down, CV practice answering in problem, action, outcome. So what's the problem? What is the action? What is the outcome? Even when explaining her gap, this is BA thinking applied to life. Okay. So now imagine this question: what were you doing during your career break? Expected question, right? I was at home. Wrong answer. Correct answer: I used the time to strengthen my understanding of BA practices by working on realistic project and improving how I communicate business problems. Excellent answer, right? Same truth, different framing at home, right? This is not a manipulation, this is professionalism, right? At this point, something important happens. She will stop seeing herself as someone with a gap. She starts seeing herself as someone preparing seriously for a BA role. Everyone can do this one, right? This mental shift matters because interviews are conversation, not exams. So you like to talk to like a friend, right? Confidence is communicated before content, right? So business analyst job is interact with people. You should be leading the shows, right? Your requirement gathering, requirement clarification. You should be able to provide solution. You should be able to guide business, understand, right? So you, when interview process also, you just need to talk truth and just show your ability to think and solve business problem. That's only required, right? Don't think about what your career gap or what you don't have. Think about what you have. Like can you communicate well? That's it. So let me ask you something now. When you imagine yourself as an interviewer, do you feel nervous or do you feel defensive or do you feel calm? Calmness comes from the familiarity, right? That's what we are building here. So before we move forward, let's do a quick reality check. Ask yourself honestly, if someone asks me about my career gap, do I freeze? Come on guys, stop the video and you can ask this question. Can I redirect the conversation to skills? Can I talk confidently about one project? Do I sound like a learner or practitioner? If this question make you uncomfortable, that's good. Okay. So discomfort means growth is starting. You have to feel the discomfort. So CV is not job ready yet, but she is no longer lost. That's the first mindset. Okay, so this is just a beginning. So she now understand one thing clearly: her gap is not an enemy, her lack of structured practice was. So and that's coming, that is something she can fix. In the next part of the journey, she will make a very important decision. She will choose one project to work on deeply. So not 10 projects, not random examples, one realistic, relatable application. That decision will change how interviews can listen to her. So and it will change how confident she feels answering questions. So that's where the real journey begins, and that's where we go next. Okay, I'll see you in next episode. Thank you.